Well, the U.S. and Israel continued strikes in Iran for a third day. The president spoke to reporters earlier today for the first time since the attack on Iran began, stating that he ordered the attack to stop Tehran's nuclear development and ballistic missile program. Joining me now is Washington Stand reporter Casey Harper. Casey, did the president indicate how long these strikes, his conflict with Iran, could continue?
Yeah, thanks, Tony. They've been a bit vague, but President Trump did say the strikes could continue 4 to 5 weeks. But he's also said that the U.S. has the capability to go far longer if needed. We've also seen language coming out of Israel saying they'll do this as long as it takes. But the conflict is expanding in the Middle East as Iran has launched strikes against Israel, but also U.S. military bases in Gulf countries to the west and the south. And that's led to retaliatory strikes. More than 50 people have been killed in Lebanon after Israel launched their own counter-strikes in response to missile fire from their old nemesis Hezbollah, which has long been based out of southern Lebanon. Now, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth described this mission of Operation Epic Fury as laser-focused, said they're focused on destroying Iran's offensive missiles, taking out their Navy and other security infrastructure, and stopping them from getting nuclear weapons. Here's a clip from earlier today.
To the media outlets and political left screaming endless wars, stop. This is not Iraq. This is not endless. This operation is a clear, devastating, decisive mission. Destroy the missile threat, destroy the Navy, no nukes.
Now, meanwhile, officials in Iran say more than 500 people have been killed since this all began, though we are a little wary of always taking those numbers at face value, Tony.
Right. Well, Casey, as I understand, the war in Iran has also put authorities here at home on high alert. Cities across America are increasing security measures amid this escalating conflict, and there's a history behind this. We've seen attacks before, a lot of them lone wolf attacks. But what do we know thus far? As we saw an attack over the weekend in Texas, it's being investigated as a possible terrorist-linked attack.
Yeah, that's right, Tony. A lot of law enforcement agencies are showing some of that concern for the same reasons that you laid out. I mean, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says she's working with federal intelligence and law enforcement partners to monitor any other potential threats that could come out. And she actually sent a bulletin to law enforcement partners warning that these increased tensions could inspire not just lone actor attacks like we saw, as you mentioned, in Austin, but also cyber attacks. In fact, here's Senator Tom Cotton on these heightened security measures.
The FBI is taking every potential threat around the nation very seriously. This is, by the way, another very compelling reason that we need to fund the Department of Homeland Security immediately. The Democrats are highly irresponsible to keep Homeland Security unfunded while we're in the middle of a war against the world's worst state sponsor of terrorism.
Now, you mentioned that shooting, the tragic shooting in Austin left 2 dead as well, along with the gunman dead, and 14 injured. And there's now U.S. law enforcement is investigating the terror links there to the mass shooting, as there was apparently reports of Islamic and Iranian memorabilia on the shooter.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at that a little deeper, Casey, later with Tim Miller, president of Lionheart International Services Group. Let's switch gears. I want to talk about another major domestic story. Voters in several states head to the polls tomorrow. Yes, it's election time. So in the primaries, these are the first primaries of the year. Tell us where those are happening, because people need to be informed.
Tony, my home state of Texas, we remember the Alamo, but you also have to remember to vote. The first primary races of the midterm elections are taking place not just in the great state of Texas, but also Arkansas and North Carolina. Now, in Texas in particular, this marks the most expensive primary in state history, and that's on both sides of the aisle. On the Republican side, Senator John Cornyn is facing off in a three-way race against Attorney General Ken Paxton and Congressman Wesley Hunt. Now, on the Democrat side, Congressman Jasmine Crockett is facing off against the state rep, James Tallarico. Now, FRC Action has put together voter guides for our listeners to help inform them of issues as well as policies and the political standings of those running. For those interested, you can go to ivoterguide.com. That's ivoterguide.com and learn more, Tony.
All right, Casey, thanks so much. I don't assume you're going to run back to Texas and vote, though, are you?
No, I don't think I can make it.